Good morning, everybody. It's your boy B and P Sports coming to you live with a recap of yesterday's games and what happened and what went wrong in the Fever Sky trilogy. Well, can't win them all, I guess, right? It's a good game, but as you can see, is my thumbnail. That's what I'm using as my thumbnail. The conversation between Sykes and Weatherspoon. I'm gonna give you a small ish. I'm gonna give you the answer of why things went wrong. My thumbnail says it all. She was out. She was simply out coached. That's why they lost yesterday because she was out coached. Yes, you could say about a few bad plays here, not, and Clark. I mean, they're waiting for Clark to shoot the ball. I mean, Leah Boston shot the three to get him within contention of that play. I mean, but that's not where the game was at. We all know this, and we're real sports people. Like even my buddy made it. I had a guy that made a comment. My buddy made a comment yesterday about with the point something seconds left on the clock and why Caden Clark was shooting, why she wasn't shooting the ball. See, it's comments like that people don't know really about sports or not taking the time or just finding someone else to blame outside of that. It's not where the game was lost, and we all know this. Everybody in sports, has ever played sports, you don't lose the play on the actual last call of the game. That's where games are won, can be won or whatever, but that's not where you actually. When you lose a game and you lose, that's not where you lost. To be honest, I mean, because with point four, you have no time for a tip up, and we all know that. I mean, Derek Fisher, do we all remember that against Spurs? He was able to, and now he can't do that. That's even at 0.6 is what it is, and he had it at 0.6. So that's where the game was lost yesterday. To be honest, so let's get into that. I want to see because they said we're telling something to each other, so and I want to get into that. Maybe I can figure out what was said. I don't know. Let's check that out. There we go. Let me show something.
88-87 the final. As Indiana scuffles down the stretch. And Chicago prevails. Christy Sides, Teresa Weatherspoon.
Let's see some of the replies, man. Because people are saying something about a fix. As in, I don't believe. I think she was just out coached, to be honest. She was just out coached yesterday. Here we go. It said, even Weatherspoon was like, I want to thank you for not giving CC a chance those last few minutes. Who's under more pressure than them, they probably would understand each other's problems. There's definitely an agenda going on. The fix is in. It wouldn't surprise me. When I get fired, can I join your coaching staff? There was no fix. You people didn't relax. Therese didn't need Sides' help in throwing this game away. No, I believe that, man. That's what I was telling you about. I don't think she threw the game. I think she's just out coached, to be honest, man. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of things swirling. It's just like some of these comments. I don't think she threw the game. I think she just was out coached and she made. It was lost in the last half of the fourth quarter. To be honest, it's this game. It's a game of runs. And what can you do? Sometimes you ride that wave. There was just no answer or no. You know what? To be honest, I think where they lost the ball, I think where they lost the game is just they kept feeding Angel Reese and they had no answer for that. No defensive stops. When she just willed her team, to be honest. Kind of reminded me the first time they won their title she won her first title at LSU, man. She just give me the ball, get on my back. Even though with all that negative connotation behind Angel Reese, she's starting to evolve, to be honest. And it's going to be scary. If she can evolve into an offensive weapon, it'll be real scary. Real scary. I'm just saying, That's how I feel about it. Because, I mean, she's a rebound monster. She's a walking double-double. She's going to get you 10 to 15 points. She had 24, and I get it. It's the build up. It's the competition, man. It was the third game of the season, and she already lost it. Imagine if she had gone 0-3 against Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna give a shout out to both the players. To be honest, like I said, sometimes you need this in games. It's kind of humbling moment for just the whole Caitlin Clark effect and her fans and Caitlin Clark as a player as well. Whether or not she was actually given the opportunity to shoot the ball or not, I mean, in reality, it always it's going to come down to the coach in those few minutes. And last, it comes down to coaching, what you put out on the court, and how you know, go coach for what's happening offensively with your defensive schemes. It ultimately goes down to the coach. Don't get me wrong, man. Some of it goes down to and some of the players, 50-50. But ultimately, I'm going to blame it on the coach, to be honest. So I just want to give you, a quick recap about my thumbnail, just what was going on, and some of the Twitter. It's just crazy how some of the comments, man, and two of the worst Christian league, just some of the things that people are saying, and a lot of it's hate from the Caitlin Clark fandom, you can say, or because I mean, look at this, like this, it's clear at the end of the conversation. T was been asked Christy side, do you have some of the sports you side not firmly, and then T split class back to side her head. That's so crazy over. Oh my god, that's just crazy. Dang, something is up. One law. I mean, it's crazy how everybody's quick to throw her under the bus, just as fans. I mean, look at this. Something's up. Sides might need to go to the front office and hand the team over to her. She just went on a 4-0 run. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. You know what? I'm gonna. Oh, here we go. I think here's where she said throwing under the bus again. Jesus Christ, who was Christy Side sleeping with? She's the one that took to take better shots per. You know that I don't agree with by throwing your players on the bus, because to be honest, man, she hit what 5 threes in the game and she was on five. She didn't really, they didn't have anything for her in the fourth quarter. But I just want to speak on some of my thumbnail, but I want to recap of yesterday's. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of ever since the watching other sports to follow. Baseball's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's too much. So I started following the CFL, and I'm gonna give you a little recap on yesterday's CFL. Just like I said, man, I'll put some acknowledgement out there on it, just to let you guys, and even girls that watch football or waiting for football, just to bide your time and watch some CFL, man. I mean, it's out there, it's there, and I don't know if you're able to watch it, or maybe if you're not, leave me some. If I get enough comments, I might start streaming these games. Just if you want to watch it. But let me get up and let me push right here.
For the touchdown, the Riders take a 7-0 lead. Just 53 seconds in, 2 possessions later, the offense not.
Wow, look at that guy catching a touchdown on his knees, man. I see. Look at that. So there's some excitement.
Slowing down.
Initially, they were playing on, so picking it up. Harris. Touchdown! Joe.
Harris hooking up with rookie Joe for the 40-yard strike. Harris's 7th touchdown of the season ties him for the most in the league.
I don't know if you're aware of the Canadian Football League or the rules or the yards. I guess they only play 3 downs from what I can see. Maybe I'm not paying attention. I don't know. But they only play 3 downs, and the touchdown, I think they're only playing 80 yards. I'm not quite sure because the field goal's inside. Or maybe it's just where the field goal's at. I mean, I've been watching, but I haven't really been close attention to detail like that. It's kind of struck me as kind of weird. Like, I don't, to be honest, I don't watch all the games. I catch snippets of here when I can, because I got to stream it. And, some of the times it's very hard to stream, but I found this new way to stream them. So I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention. Yeah. Let's get back into it.
The Riders are up 17 after 1. This is their home opener, too. But late in the second quarter, Harris gets hit as he throws and is brought down awkwardly by Nick Usher. And Harris gets up for a moment but drops right back down. Harris left the game with a lower body injury. He came back to the sidelines with a knee brace in the third quarter, but he never re-entered the game. He didn't really need to. In the third, Hamilton down 11 at the Riders' 5-yard line. But Levi Mitchell is sacked and fumbles it away. The Riders recover, and the struggles for Hamilton didn't stop there.
The fun is definitely after back now. We're getting late third quarter to be against it. It's deflected and picked off. Jameer Thurman still going. 5 touchdown.
Wow. Jameer Thurman comes up with the tipped Mitchell pass and takes it 28 yards back to the house for the pick 6. The second of 4 turnovers in the game by Mitchell as Hamilton remains winless this season while the Rough Riders improved to 3-0.
They called the play. I was like, yeah, let me just.
Well, I know a lot of you the newer generation that you're probably not familiar with all these football leagues outside of the NFL, like the Canadian Football League or the UFL. Or back in the day, man, they were. I want to say back in the late '80s, man. '80s, they were competing for NFL players. I mean, there was a lot of big name stars that were playing in those leagues. I mean, one time it was like a modern day ABA and NWA, before the merger. I don't know if y'all remember or y'all look back in those days or that far back. There was an ABA. I mean, basically, it was ABA was. I want to give it a bad connotation. It was American Basketball Association, or like other people used to call it back in the day, All Black Association. It was a black league, but then they merged because they were all talking about the competition, just like in baseball. When it was segregated for the integration of anything. But the USF, I think it was USF. The USF was a little bit different. It was more of a paid thing than anything, than just a divide in between color, because there was no color barrier basically back in the '80s when the USFL came out. It was more of a paid thing because you had stars like Jim Kelly over there in that league. Herschel Walker. I mean, you just had big time players, but it was a paid thing back in those days. It's just kind of crazy thinking in the '80s. Man, they weren't paying. I can understand that, but yeah, it was a big division. It was a big divide. It wasn't a big divide, but they were getting some of those players like that, man. I mean, and now you could tell the difference. I mean, they have grown their corporation so big where there is no pay gap except maybe in women's sports only, and maybe soccer, but. But like our 3 main sports here, there's no doubt, NBA, MLB, and NFL, there's no doubt that we're paying the most money for you to watch. But yeah, I'm just, I just want to give you a little insight on that, but give you a little insight, just to give you a little bit about the game, man. Give you some news out there. If you're interested in watching, or give me some likes, give me some shares, give me some comments, and maybe I can stream some games or figure out something for anybody else who want to watch them. To watch them. I mean, we got enough going on. Don't get me wrong, but I like to watch all kinds of sports. So now let's get into today's recap of what happened and where it all went on. I'm going to give you a recap of the whole game. Just I'm going to throw it out there. So let me see. I don't think. I don't think anything nefarious is going on. I think it was just he got out coached, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna break down the game. I'm gonna break down the game as we're watching this weekend. Just let you know where it all kind of fell apart for her as a coach. And as a coach, ultimately you're gonna have the deal. And if you're in this hot seat, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no use of throwing people under the bus. Because really, as a coach myself. You're gonna take the slack no matter how you look at it, right? And if you did throw, if you did throw Caitlin Clark under the bus, That's not good, to be honest. You're doing the cash cow, and not only the fans, the commissioner of WNBA might have some problems with that. But anyway, so the average ticket price today was $358. Wow, highest WA ticket on record since 2015. So they're bringing the people they're bringing all the boys to the yard. Look at it, and women, sorry, and them, those, and all those other pronouns as well. But anyways, so I mean, they're moving the needle. You can see this, guys. You got the catalyst, which is Angel Reese, and you got the ones actually moving the teams, which is Caitlin Clark right here. So let's get into let's get into it. Let's start. And I'm going to talk about the game.
Far back as our records go, is round 3 between Indiana and Chicago is underway. Clark trying to shake free Mabry all over. Here is Clark. Clark separating, taking, and hitting Caitlin.
And before I really delve deep into this, to be honest, man, this game should have been a lot closer throughout the game, and I'm pretty sure that Chicago might have beat them earlier, but Marina Mabry was off. I'm talking about off. I mean, she shot less than. I don't remember what the deal is, but I watched it. Like I said, I watched the whole game. I mean, she was horrible yesterday. I think most of her points came off free throws, to be honest. I think she might have had 6 points. But she could not make a buck to save her life. She couldn't hit mid-range threes, nothing. So, I mean, to be honest, man, I mean, this game was a lot closer than people actually think it was, or should have went one way. Could have went the other way, and just a whole blowout if Mabry wouldn't have been off, man. But you'll be seeing it during the game. I mean, I don't know if they're going to preview a lot of her misses, but I was watching the game, and that kind of stood out to me, man, to be honest, how much Mabry was. And they kept her in the game. That's what's crazy. I guess it was more of a defensive thing. I probably would have put in Evans a little bit more, just because Evans is a playmaker. Her offense is so. She doesn't take a lot of shots, but she can contribute offensively as far as just passing the ball, moving the ball around. But they kind of had her on a limited role about actually, dictating the game. Like I said, I watched everything. I mean, Kennedy Carter was a monster yesterday till she got injured. It's kind of funny because but it was an accident. It wasn't nothing malicious, but she took a hard foul. And I'm gonna tell you who really kind of won him the game outside of Angel Reese was Cardoza. Cardoza is back. I don't know, maybe like I say, she was most injured coming into the season, and I think she had a lot to do with this. Just clogging the lane and being a menace down low. The thing with Chicago, I'm gonna give Chicago, they rebound. They're a presence when rebounding. Both of those girls right there, man, they got motors, and they're like with Camila Cardoza, she's all physical, powerful, down low, and with Reese, man, it's her jumping, her athleticism. She just has a motor that doesn't stop. Even though she's the villain, man, I respect her game, man. I respect what she's putting together. I really do. I'm not gonna say that, she's an overrated player. I don't think she actually is. I kind of gonna step back at that because, man, when she wants to play, she can play. To be honest, man, I think she doesn't. But she's right. I give her humble and a praise, her humbleness and what she knows she needs to fix, because she's right. That's I like that in her. Even though she's the villain and all this, and she likes to run her mouth, she's humble to the point that she knows she can fix her craft, and it needs to be fixed. I think Caitlin Clark is probably a humbling experience for her, in the somewhat of just looking her inside and what, I need to fix my craft. So let's get back into this, man. Come
on. Clark with a difficult look from deep.
Keep your eye on in this matchup on the bigs inside. Aaliyah Boston, Camila Cardoso. Of course, they played with one another in college, but they go at one another in this matchup.
And Kennedy Carter so smooth in the mid-range. Starting lineup put back in after the injury to Temithak Benlay has really found her footing over the last 4 or 5 games. Reese the deep catch and the finish.
See, that's another thing a lot of people didn't realize. I mean, I don't know if it's Samuelson did a way better job. See, what they should have done, to be honest, is they should have even though Nalissa Smith has been kind of offensively been a little juggernaut lately, you could tell she was simply outmatched by Deal. She let her. I mean, Angel Reese just pushed her around and got her position. What they should have done was switch. They should have put in. I can't remember her name. She got the tech later. The other center. They should have switched her on Cardoza, and Boston should have guarded Angel Reese. And those looking, or should have thrown more double teams at her. To be honest, man. Because I mean, anytime she got the ball, man, she pretty much did whatever she wanted, and that was the game. That was where they really lost the game down low, and that's where Angel Reese really got a lot of points, and Liz Smith couldn't hold it. I mean, she just couldn't hold her. I mean, she's nothing she could do defensively against her, man, and that's a lot. That's where the game was actually lost, to be honest. When you have that much confidence in offense and everything. So let me get back into the deal.
Did not rule it as such. Here is Allen leaving it short. Reese always in on the offensive glass. Could not quite hang on. Here's Wallace. Will pull up from a long two and knock it down. As Allen finds Carter. Lost it. Trying to get it back. 4 to shoot. Dumps it down. Reese bangs inside and flips it in. Angel Reese attacking Melissa Smith again. A locked in face.
Locked in face.
Clark, a deep three. You bet.
People who come to cricket, stay with cricket.
I volunteer at a bunny rescue, and with cricket, my ability.
See, that's what I was saying, you know. That's what I was talking about. Sorry about that. That's what I was talking about. She just couldn't hold her, man. I mean, she was just anything and everything that she wanted to do. And then, Kayla, that's when around that time when Kayla started getting hot. But I mean, there's so much you can do offensively, man. To be honest,
chasing the sunrise with you, outrunning your doubts, inspiring you to see what's possible.
It took a little bit of time.
Because, man, you went up by double figures at one point, and then all of a sudden, I mean, everybody knows that basketball is a game at once. When you have your, especially in a game like this, man, you got to keep your foot on the neck. You got to put your foot on their neck, man. You can't decide to change something up and, hopefully it works. Basically, that's what she was doing. You got to go with what works. I mean, apparently, because I'm not gonna blame everything just on the coach side, because even as the team started playing, they started getting lazy and lackadaisical. They did, So I mean, a lot had to do with them as well.
But we've been able to really see how powerful her two-man game can be with Caitlin Clark.
Cardoso on the offensive glass keeps it alive and sticks it in.
You know what the shot was?
Carter wants it in the post on Clark. Here's Kennedy Carter. The pull-up jumper is good. Kennedy Carter for Chicago. Clark goes 1 of 2 from the line. Chicago leads the league in fouls per game. DeShields on a 3. Gets it back to Boston. DeShields very active defensively and effective. Here's Wallace cupping it up and in. Nice take from Christy Wallace. Spoken like someone who's voted.
Or whose kids have.
Mitchell on another 3.
But also, I was doing a lot of I took some of the stat lines of the game. And here's another part. Maybe, I don't know if it's just, I'm not going to say it's, like I say, I want to say it's a compilation of everybody just losing the game. I think mostly Kelsey Mitchell, because I'm gonna throw her under the bus. I don't care, man. She just anytime she's not running an offense like they've been running. She went back to just being a ball hog. To be honest, man. I mean, she's just running back to be a ball hog. She's trying to get paid or get out of the fever. I don't know. I mean, she had 24 points, but man, she shot the ball like almost twice as much as Caitlin Clark did. Caitlin Clark went what? 11 for 21 or 6 for, I think 7 for 11, something like that. 6 for 11, 5 for 11. So, it just wasn't lost just there. It's lost in between the players, some of the things. I mean, but that's part of coaching, man. you got to keep everybody engaged during the game. And if you're not going to keep everybody engaged, and that's why, like you said, since they've been winning, I know it's the ball. Caitlin Clark's bringing the ball down because she runs an actual offense. Kelsey Mitchell's more like, I'm going to run the ball, look for my opening, and pretty much shoot it, unless they come up to guard her or put a double team on her, which is, I think, a big issue in their offense. But those are some of the things they need to actually fix.
Kelsey Mitchell has been cooking over this 4-game winning streak. She shot at least 50% from the floor each of the last 4 games for the first time in her career. Here's Carter trying from deep and hitting. Look out if Kennedy Carter adds that distance to her game. All the way in, lays it home. Could have held for one.
See, that's another thing on defense and where Chicago stayed in the game. Kennedy Carter was cooking Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, see, these are all things that provide, that add outliers to why they lost the game. It ain't just coach or that. It's defensive, too. I mean, you got to play defense.
One did not, but able to hit. Here's the flick ahead. Alyssa Smith lays it in on the delivery from Clark. 3 seconds denying Clark of the basketball since she has come in off the bench, the defender.
She has size, length, strength, athletic ability.
There's Wheeler getting into the paint.
See, like, it's right to tell you, like, the score right here, they're in the second quarter, and it's 26-30 Chicago. I'm going to be honest, Chicago should be up by more by now because Mabry, she didn't hit nothing. I mean, I don't think she hit her first 5 bucks. I think the first point she had was probably either a layup, free throws, and even after that, she had another jumper, and that was pretty much it. I think she had like 4 points on buckets, and the rest were free throws. But, they kind of got lucky, man. The game could have got early out of hand, or even they could have still made the run. But
Payne lays it in. Katie Lou Samuelson was looking in for Smith, didn't have an angle. Here's Wheeler. Back to Katie Lou. She'll fire a 3 and knock it down. Clark trying to shake free, get some space, did not take the 3, drives. Smith gets loose and lays it in as Diamond to Shields hit the deck. Indiana will get back Temithag Benley soon, perhaps in their next game. Mabry reigns in a 3. Here's Boston again, leaning, able to hit. 3 straight possessions, the Clark to Boston connection. A 13-3 Indiana run. A lot of substitutions for Chicago, and Kennedy Carter back in. Caught Clark. Here's Cardoso. The rookie draws 2. Carter floats it up and in. Kennedy Carter's touch inside the arc is just incredible.
See, yesterday's game was lost a lot of on lazy defense. Just like those couple of plays right there, that's lazy defense. On Clark right there, even on whoever's guarding Kennedy Carter, where she just come up, everybody, what's happening is they're standing around watching the game. They're getting cement feet watching the game. They're not focusing. They're not playing. They're not keeping one eye on your person. So it's it's not just the coach's fault, but down the stretch, she was outcoached. So
Mabry, great feed. Allen lays it in. Good burst from Chicago, and it's tied at 39. Reese trying to seal inside. Reese the shovel. Cardoso the finish. Chicago on an 8-0 run. Into the corner. Wallace a 3 is good, and Indiana needed that after taking in that deep breath, fighting carpet. Nice look. Wallace gets free, waits, and lays it in off another dime from Caitlin. 3-second difference, game and shot clock. Here is Mabry dumping it in. Cardoso the catch and the finish. Here's Cardoso working Boston.
As you can see, there's really no highlights from Marina Mabry because, like I said, she didn't score a bucket or she just kept missing, man. Put up a brick mansion yesterday, to be honest.
Cardoso on the move, lays it in again.
See, and you got to move your feet, ladies. I don't care. I mean, if you're not in foul trouble, make her earn it from the line. That's another thing. Sometimes these they get into a little relapse or they get beat. I mean, I see a lot of it happens when they're like on her fast break runs. A lot of she's got to. Those are some of the things you have to teach, or just let them know. Hey man, you're not in foul trouble. Make her in there from the line, because those are momentum shifters right there. Sometimes you got to give somebody a hard foul. I mean, you get beat like that, give her a hard foul. You're big. That's y'all are used to that. But see, those are the things that you as a coach you have to preach, or even as players you have to understand, because that's where your IQ comes into play. But that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you're in the moment of the game. You can't always catch everything.
Good chemistry there, Kennedy Carter and Camila Cardoso. Out to Cardoso, off to a good start here in the third. Reese working hard on Smith. Angel Reese flips it in. Timeout, Indiana.
See, that's just more. I mean, look at this. Now they really took that. They're opening up that lead right now. Like I said, maybe it was on. I mean, it wouldn't even been a good close game like this. But yeah, Alyssa Smith, she just can't guard her, man. I mean, she's just throwing her hands up. She's really not moving her feet, to be honest. She's really not. She's not. If I was her, man, I mean, I'd probably front her a little more sometimes, or just move me, or break down, or I wouldn't be close up on her. I'd kind of, or just when she goes for the pass, get up under her so she can't turn around and start to make her move, just so she could feel the defensive presence. But today she was clearly outmatched.
How about the start to the Mitchell at 3? It is good, making it 2 for Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, the three-point contest can't wait for this year after what Sabrina Ionescu did last year. And you got Team USA against Team All-Stars. Clark connects on her third 3 of the game. Here's Clark pedaling it forward. Clark dipping in, finds Boston beautifully for the finish. Clark around the screen, bounces underneath. Smith waits and finishes. 9th assist for Clark. Melissa Smith now with 8 points. Clark wide open, gives it up. Mitchell in the corner. She got it on a 3. Here's Allen. Off to Carter. Carter dumps it down. Cardoso finishes. Kennedy Carter's an outstanding scorer. Clark.
I don't know if it's just me, or every time they do go down low, if they're afraid to foul, they just throw their hands up. There's no contest. You're not going to block Camila Cardoso like this. Or Angel Reese with your hands just thrown straight in the. I'm not understanding that defensive effort. To be honest, you're in a close game here. It's a game of momentums. Send them to I don't understand why you're not sending them to the line. I mean, I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you don't. I mean, you weren't in foul trouble. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I mean, you want to send a message. I mean, they already got the position. Pretty let them know, you know what? Come do what you want. Y'all on the lane. That's pretty much what's happening.
Draws 2, whips it to Boston. Right back to Clark. Oh, good 2-player action, and Boston cashes in. Here's Mitchell at 3. It's good. Kelsey Mitchell making it rain, and Indiana has its largest lead. It's 9. Indiana on an 18-3 run as Clark directs traffic. Clark lobbing it in. What a find. And Boston the finish. A delectable dime from Caitlin Clark. Wheeling behind Boston, trying to get it back to her. That one's deflected. Boston collects. Mitchell. You bet! And the foul! It's a fever rainstorm in Chicago. Into the corner. Katie Lou Samuelson off the mark on a 3. Harrison the board. Mabry flings it down the floor. Reese. What a catch and finish!
See right there, that's the play where it started kind of going bad. They made that play right before the deal. That's a momentum type of play. You're not getting back down to hustle, but Angel Reese did. She knew. They have 51 seconds left. Here's where the downward spiral occurs. Nobody saw that, but I saw it yesterday. That's a momentum play. That gives you, what? This game started getting away, but hey, let's see what we can do right before the clock. So here we go.
Joe Reese. 13 assists for Clark. Boston has 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists herself. Clark, a bomb is good. A logo 3. And then a shrug and a stare from Caitlin Clark. 7 rebounds. Kennedy Carter, 18. Angel Reese, 15 points, 11 boards, leading the way for Chicago. 22 from Kelsey Mitchell. Here's to Shields again. To Shields and Carter.
Lazy defense, man. Look how open she was. That's what I talk about, the defense, man. I mean, it's not just you can't. That's not the coach's fault. But some of that, it's a collection of it's a collective effort on the loss today's game. To be honest, it's a collective effort. Is why they lost. It's not one thing, but throwing your team on the bus is not a good look for you, Coach Sykes.
Willingly take threes the way they've showed at times today. Boston, who also has a 15-5-5 game today. Here's Clark, catch, fire, and connect. 5th 3 of the game for Clark. Clark trying to stay with her. Lindsay Allen gets hooked and banks it in. Puts the foul. Here's Carter. Dumping it down. Reeves bangs it in. Angel Reeves with a 20-point afternoon. A 7-0 Chicago run. Trying to get it to Boston. Wasn't there. Now has it knocked away.
Huge part of the game where I tell you is halfway point. They start losing the game. They make a few errors here, and they just came off a 7-0 run. The Chicago Sky did. So, they're starting to buckle down. Bad pass. Caitlin Clark made it. So
Cardoso, the deflection. Kennedy Carter lays it in.
That's where I talk about getting back on defense and being lazy. It's a collective effort, man. I mean, you can't blame nobody but Caitlin Clark on that play. You have to get back. You got to see where the people are at.
3-point game. Squeeze it out to Allen. Allen's mid-range short. Reese another rebound. Reese flips it in. Puts the foul.
And right there is where the game was lost, to be honest. That's where the game was actually lost. Look at the dejection in Caitlin Clark. Got her head down. You got out hustled on that play. Listen, you've been getting out hustled the whole time in the paint. But that's where the game was lost. That was pretty much where it's over with. That's where that run finally, that momentum finally shifted. And I'm gonna give it to the Chicago. They didn't never give up, man. They didn't. They've been down by 9 before that, with 4 minutes ago. But the resilience, they're young, a lot of them. They didn't give up. They were led by the 2 Bulls, to be honest, man. Carmilla and they didn't give up, but you can tell that's what the Fever did. Coach did. She didn't know what to do. I mean, they got out of. I don't think Clark shot a single bucket in the last 4 minutes, maybe 1 bucket, and that's probably where they didn't run no offense. They didn't call a timeout. So that's another thing about the WNBA. Man, don't be afraid to use them timeouts, especially like in runs like the 4th quarter like that, man. They don't have to save them. She still had 2 left. You get 2 left, you should have had her. You should have only had 1 left by this time, but it is what it is.
To tie it at the line for Angel Reese. Into Boston. Clark gets knocked down. No call. Here comes Mitchell. Dancing through the lane. Scoops it in. Kelsey Mitchell's downhill attack. Carter hops in and floats it home. Kennedy Carter with 22. 1 minute to go. Tie game.
So I'm not understanding, man. Why are you not double teaming her? She's coming in the paint. Make her give it up. Make one of the bigs. I'm gonna rewind this real quick, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. Watch this.
Carter hops in and floats it home. Kennedy Carter.
Right there, Clark should have came over for the defensive play. I mean, you got enough time to make her stop, give it up, pass it back out to your man, and then you can, recover. But like I say, it's lazy defense on that part. That's what
22. 1 minute to go. Tie game.
I mean, they just checked out collectively as a defensive squad, the whole team. So, I mean, what can you do, right?
Allen looking into Reese. Reese back to work on Smith. Reese pops it in.
Like I said, Melissa Smith had no answer for her. She was just killing. Just give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Delicious Smith has had no answer for Angel Reese. Here's Boston directing traffic. Boston stuck on an island will take and hit from 3. It's a 1-point game. What a shot from Aaliyah Boston. Clark lobs it in. The tip won't happen. That is it.
So that's pretty much a recap. Like I say, I don't think Sperry took maybe one shot in the last. I mean, you got to do better, coach. You got to get her involved more. I mean, I understand you had the momentum shift and everything. You have to double team foul. You have to do something. I'm not saying you're I don't think your job's on the line, either one of y'all two ladies, even though you know you're the worst, but the players y'all do at it, they are making your teams better. And I get it, and you're always on the hot seat. So but let's get into a recap of actually what happened in the other game. Besides this one, we had a few games on this, so but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. It was a great game. It's a good trilogy, man. It's good for the sport. It's real good for the sport. So let's get into yesterday's quick recap of all of yesterday's game they played. So yesterday, the Liberty, they played the the New York Liberty played the Atlanta Dream, and Linscomb led the way with 26 points, 11 assists. And Tina Charles led the way for the Dream with 19 points, 7 rebounds. And then the next game was the Dallas Wings against the Washington Mystics, and Howard led the game with 26 points, 8 rebounds, and Dolson, the center, she led with points with 18 points and 8 rebounds. And then you had the Connecticut Sun versus Seattle Storm, and Alyssa Thomas led everybody in scores with 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 steals. And then McGregor she led two of the top performer for the Seattle with 11 points, 9 rebounds. And then you have the Indiana Fever with Chicago Sky with Caitlin Clark, 17 points, 16 rebounds, and a whopping 13 assists. And Angel Reese for the Chicago Sky with the win, 25 points, 16 boards, walking triple-double. So, that was yesterday's game in a nutshell. It's just she lost it halfway, man. It's just you have to do better sometimes. You got to call a timeout. You have to be more physical with a team that's being more physical, to be honest. That's where she really lost the game. She let them be – they weren't being physical back. They're pretty much doing whatever they want. Send them to the line. That's what I would have done. I mean, I would have put everybody together as a coach and just been like, if the players aren't talking about it, I mean, like, send them to the line. Make them beat you at the free throw. Carmela Cardoza, she's not a good free throw shooter. I would have, man, every time. Especially if you're lacking in fouls, man, don't worry about what the game is. I'm not telling you to do a hack and shack, but if you're already down low, what can you do? He's gonna let her because you're not gonna stop her. I would just grabbed her, or just because it's the momentum thing, man. It's a momentum thing. And that's where she was outcoached. And that's how she was outcoached, to be honest. But it is what it is, man. Let's see what happens. It's not the end of the world. It's just, she still got her on the whole thing. She's it's just there's always gonna be these there's always gonna be something behind every game or why this happened. But it's basketball, guys. Let them play. This is what it is. All of a sudden, now that everybody's tuned in, everybody wants to give their opinion about what happened. She was just outcoached. Nothing more than that. Outcoached. There's no outliers around it. Yes, coming for your job. You're in the last two, but hey, she's doing better than one. I mean, yes, they had a rough start, 1-8. They turn it around. I mean, but that's the way it goes, man. So, let's see what happens. That's it for today, man, on BP Sports. Just trying to it's got my new little logo out there. I don't know if you check that out, the BP Sports pick logo. You check it out. It's brand new. I had designed for me yesterday. So, guys, it's going to be it for today. I should have got on here last night, but I didn't. Man, I was tired. Been up all day doing work. So, it's going to be it for today, man. Now, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that boom bell notification. Tell me you drop anything. Anytime I drop, you'll be notified. And let's put some comments in the algorithm. like I say, I'll be moving into my studio. Actually, clean out one of the rooms we have here. I'm turning into a studio somewhat, just to look more classic. Look more. Right now, I'm in the office area of the bedroom. That's where I'm at. So it's kind of a little spacey, but actually one of the bedrooms we don't use anymore. I'm gonna transform into a bigger studio so we can look more professional, more things. But anyways, so like I said, we do going live so we can have chats. Probably in 2 weeks. Just trying to get some more. I actually want to be in there before I actually do that, just to have a little more space, a little more professional. So hope this was very entertaining to you. Just give me the sports news, like I say. Or if you're interested in some of that Canadian Football League, drop some comments, please. So that's it for today. Also get over onto Hook 'em Picks. We'll be giving out some picks later on his channel as well. Yesterday he did pretty good, man. I mean, he almost swept all his NBA. He missed the one, Dana Evans, which was kind of an outlier. I think it was a sneaky attack by the prize pick people. But anyways, that's it for today, guys. So peace.